Hello, hello. Happy holidays to all of you incredible men and women who are doing so many great things for your community. Healing, helping, serving. Thank you. Receive this gratitude from me. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for the incredible work that you do this year, that you did this year, that you do in your life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And receive that. Today's episode is all about receivership. And I'm speaking specifically to the women in my audience. You know who you are, who are so capable, so competent, who are taking care of everyone else. I want you to listen up because today we're tapping into the feminine power of receivership. Hello. Welcome to the Business of Happiness podcast. Welcome. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Christmas. Whatever you celebrate this holiday season, I hope you're enjoying and feeling and most importantly, receiving the magic of this incredible season. You may have been the queen of giving all year long. And what if the greatest gift you could give the people in your life is tapping into your own art of receiving? Receiving. Such an incredibly beautiful strength, feminine power that we have that we forget or sometimes aren't even aware of. I'm sure for decades of my life didn't realize how powerful, literally powerful the art of receivership is in terms of manifesting the life of your dreams, in terms of happiness. I mean, I think I thought my whole life that I was just here to serve others. I was here to support. I felt like I had a great sense of self-belief. I knew I could do it no matter what. And then from that space, I thought I have to be doing for others all the time. You know, I remember a very specific Christmas where the art of receivership actually spoke to me more powerfully than ever. It was Christmas of 2016. I had just opened my Scratch Start orthodontic practice here in Maine. And I was working hard, y'all. I was working so hard. Anybody who has ever started a practice from scratch knows the dedication and the time commitment that we think we need to give to our practice. And I was in that space of burning myself down from the beginning. I wasn't aware of it, but I was there. And I remember in those early days how much treatment I was giving away, literally. Every patient had a discount. You get a discount and you get a discount and you get a discount. I created discounts for teachers, for first responders, for families. I can keep going on and on and on and on and on. For one of the first 100 patients. Literally everybody got a discount. I was giving. That giving was a part of my identity at that point. I was over giving to the team I was hiring, trying to make their jobs easier, trying to make their employment more attractive, I thought, by over giving. 2016 was also the year my brother passed away. And in that year, that Christmas holiday season, I felt so much ownership of needing to give to the rest of my family, not just in terms of gifts, material things, but creating a Christmas that was special, knowing that there would be so much heartache and sadness around not having his presence with us. So overgiving became my middle name. That Christmas seemed more emotionally charged than any Christmas before. And of course it was. It was the first one without Douglas. And so I kept telling myself there were so many reasons that I needed to be responsible for making this time special, to give more gifts, to give more of myself. And I'll never forget, there was a moment on that Christmas morning where everybody was collected at our house and we were opening presents. And of course, I love to watch. I don't know if any of you are like this the same way, but I love to watch someone open their present, especially when it's from me, but anytime. The joy and the smile and the appreciation is so beautiful to observe. I love it. I even love watching when someone's opening a gift from someone else, because the person who's giving the gift is so excited, especially if it's something that they really have been looking forward to that person receiving. Yeah, and you can imagine that feeling too, when you've bought someone a gift and it was just the right thing, and you're really excited because you nailed it this time. You really got that gift well. And I love being the observer of it, watching somebody open a gift that somebody else gave them and seeing that interaction and that receivership and that love. And every time it came to a gift that I needed to open that somebody else was giving me, I'd kind of rush through it or play it off or delay it. No, it's so-and-so's turn. No, let's rather all look at her, and deflecting away from me and really downplaying gifts that I received. Interestingly, especially from my husband. You know, when you have more family around, I would always downplay what Killian gave me. And I'll never forget, my daughter actually stopped me and said, "Mom, I'm really excited about this gift I'm giving you. Please, can you take your time and really look at what I'm giving you?" And she didn't have the words at the time, but what she was asking me to do is receive. And that receivership is the component that I had forgotten. How valuable that is to the other person, first of all. Enormous. What a gift to have somebody receive the gift you're giving them. What a gift. What a gift to be recognized in that way. And it reminded me of an experience at work. My business partner, who I was starting this practice with, had never owned a practice before. I had. And so I just took on this role of doing the big heavy lifting, of doing all the work. And by the way, she also happened to be pregnant. She actually had her baby that fall. So she had a tiny baby at home. But I was over-giving in our partnership at work as well. Everything that needed to be handled, I was taking on myself, thinking I was giving and supporting her. And there was a conversation that needed to be had there too, where she sat me down and she said, "Tarryn, we are partners here. I need to take ownership of some of these responsibilities. I want to. This is my business baby as well. And I need you to receive the support that I want to give." We forget how important it is to receive. That component of receivership has so much power in building and strengthening relationships. That's the first component. Giving ourselves permission not just to give, but to receive. In a relationship, that is everything. Think about any relationship you have right now. I mean, in an intimate relationship, a business partnership, even in a relationship where you're the boss and somebody is working for you, or you're the parent and you're in a relationship with your child. That give and take is a critical component of connection, of love, of respect, and of value. And if we're never allowing ourselves to receive, we're losing that important component of value. Years later, I was hiring someone to come into our office. She was incredible. I was so excited. I was interviewing her, and she was working in another orthodontic office at the time, and a really great, talented team member. And I was talking to her and I said, I want to know, why are you leaving this other orthodontic practice? What is it that's not jiving for you in this other orthodontic? You've been working there for decades. What is it now that you're leaving, choosing to leave your other practice? And she said, I don't feel valued. And I said, tell me more. And when she said, I don't feel valued, I immediately thought, oh, she thinks she's not getting paid enough. That wasn't it. She felt like she didn't have the opportunity to give what she really wanted to the practice. She had all these great ideas. She had all this energy to make big changes, to do big things. And we're talking about somebody who was really in a marketing position, in a brand ambassador type position. And because of the constriction and limitations of her boss, she felt like she couldn't give. And that was the component that made her feel undervalued. Because her boss, her leader, wouldn't receive all the additional work and gifts she had to give, this employee felt undervalued. And isn't that true in relationships in all components of our lives? We want to feel valued, and we're valued when we give and that giving is received. Receivership is such a critical component of greater success and happiness. And it's a very feminine trait. It's a very feminine trait. And, in business and in medicine and dentistry, when we're so used to doing, we tap heavily into that masculine component of ours. And some of us are really good at it. Celebrate, sister, if you have a very strong masculine side who's extremely capable. Bravo. I salute you, and I am so happy for you because you get shit done. Anybody out there is listening is like, yeah, that's me. I make it happen. Bravo. And I'm going to invite you to welcome a new experience of receiving. Receivership also allows for greater wealth and abundance. Think about it. If all I ever did was give away treatment, give discounts on every treatment plan, I would never receive literal money. If all you did was give away, you would never receive. And even though in this whole journey, I was asking for more, I was saying, oh, I want success. I want to grow this practice. I was speaking those words, but my actions were not allowing for receiving the abundance available to me. I was speaking the words that Christmas of, I want this Christmas to be special and meaningful. And guess what? I wasn't allowing for myself to feel the special and meaningfulness. And that's everything. As capable, competent, high-achieving women, we also tend to be leaders. Leaders not just of our teams and our businesses, but leaders of our families. And energetically, if we're always giving, that same resonance is felt by everyone around us, and it's exhausting. And isn't that true? When I say give, and remind myself of that year when that is all I could think of was, how do I give more? How do I do more? I feel exhausted just thinking about it. The refueling of receivership is critical. A friend of mine talks about it in terms of breath. We can exhale and exhale and exhale, but there is going to be a moment where we need to take a deep inhale, a breathing in order to refuel so that we can continue to give. Let's face it, you're never going to stop giving, and that makes you so beautiful and spectacular, and it's probably what drew you to medicine and dentistry. It's probably what drew you to where you are right now. And it's probably why so many people depend on you, because you are so good at giving and supporting and healing and nurturing. But we cannot be our best selves if we don't also allow for that inhale, that receivership. And it's so fascinating how we say to ourselves, oh, I've been wishing for this dream. I've been pushing for this dream for so long, and it's just not happening. I don't see it coming to me in my life. And we realize, oh my gosh, I've not been allowing it. See, because the feminine power of receivership taps into something so beautiful, which is allowing. Allowing requires us to let go of the outcome. Ooh. Another critical component of feminine power. So often we get so attached to controlling the outcome, creating something, building something, making it look just so. How often have you heard yourself say, you know what, let me just do it myself because then I'll get it right. If you've got a job to do and you want it done right, do it yourself. Whew. There is such a beautiful component of allowance that is missing from that statement. Because when we're trying to control something, the way it looks, the outcome, when we're taking full ownership of the doing, of making it happen, we're losing out not only on the receiving end, the support, the help, the love, the giving from someone else, even though we're crying for help all around us and feeling like we're completely drowning, but we're also losing out on this magical component of something we can't know about. In other words, allowing for something that our imagination hasn't yet thought of. When we're controlling something, imagine how constricting that is, because all we know is this is what I want, it looks like this, and that's the outcome I want to expect. I'm expecting and I want to see in my lived experience. But now realize that some of the greatest things that have ever happened in your life were outcomes you could never even have dreamed of. Am I right? The best relationships in your life, those really beautiful friendships, or maybe it's a significant other if you have a marriage that's just so special and you think, oh my gosh, I could never have dreamed this. It looks so different from what my younger mind might have thought. I know that's true with my relationship with my mom now. I thought many years ago when we were having difficulty in our relationship, I thought that a mother-daughter relationship would look a certain way. And that's what I was trying to force. I was trying to create. I was trying to do. And when I let go of what I thought the outcome should look like, guys, it's so much more beautiful. It's something I could never have imagined. But it requires this feminine power of receivership and allowance, letting go of the outcome. Because if not this, then something better. I love that mantra. If what I want right now, what I'm asking the universe for, is not going to come through, then I want to see something even better. And let that happen. Receive that. Receive that. You know, when we break receivership down, it really comes to 3 critical skills. Slowing down, number 1. Allowance, surrendering and allowing for an outcome, allowing for something to come to you. And then the third part is, here's the magic. I'm going to call it unconditional gratitude. The gratitude component is critical because it allows you to really receive. So if we were to break receivership down, kind of create a recipe, what does receivership look like? It really has those 3 critical components: slowing down, allowing, and gratitude. And I'm going to use the words unconditional gratitude only because it reminds us that we can't put rules and limitations on it. I want to receive something, but it has to look like this. Then we're missing out on the magic of feminine receivership. See, because feminine receivership allows and holds the gratitude for what comes through. And that's where the magic lies, guys. And it's so interesting because these three components are new for many of us who have been very high achieving, highly competent, highly successful women who know what they want and then get it done, make it happen. And how often have you made it happen and yet it feels unfulfilling? Have I just struck a nerve? Have you created big, beautiful things in your life with your own two hands? And they felt magical for a moment, and now they feel unfulfilling. And you move to the next thing. You think, okay, then I need to do this. Oh, then I need to do this. What we're missing in that success formula is the receivership. And receivership requires these three components. Slowing down. Whew! Isn't that so antithetical to what we're used to doing, especially high achieving, get it done women? But slowing down is such a beautiful, important component. It reminds our bodies to slow down. It allows us to be present in the moment. Put down the dishes and sit down in front of the fireplace and be present. Put down the email during your lunch break and all the things you think you have to get done and be present. Put down all the extra to-dos and be present with your patient. That presence requires us to slow down, and it works from a biological standpoint as well. We go from a space of fight or flight stress state that we don't even realize we're in. It just feels like hyper-functioning, but it's actually a stress state, cortisol and adrenaline pumping, and we know what that feels like. And it brings us to a calm, a presence that allows for those beautiful oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine. Those can only be received when we're in a space of calm and slowing down. When you're running away from the tiger, you can't receive anything. You're fleeing. You're fighting. You're freezing. You're not allowing receivership. And then the second component of allowance is permission. Giving yourself permission and safety. It is safe to receive in this moment. It is safe to receive full payment for my services. It is safe to receive my partner's input, my team members' passion and work, her efforts into this building this beautiful practice. It is safe to receive my husband's attention. It is safe to receive my family's love and be present in the moment. It requires a sense of safety. And sometimes that feels uncomfortable, especially when we have been practicing the opposite for decades. So if slowing down feels terrifying, please recognize that there is nothing wrong with you. You just haven't practiced it yet. You've been practicing the opposite. So this holiday season, what if you gave yourself permission to practice receivership? And then give yourself permission to just watch the ripple effects of the people around you. Not just how that impacts your happiness, but how it impacts your wealth, how it impacts the abundance that you have in your life, and how it impacts other people in terms of their being valued, in terms of their contribution to this beautiful experience. You know, if you've been listening to this whole episode and just so excited to try this and realize, oh my gosh, yeah, that's a part of my feminine power I haven't tapped into. I'm excited because I want to welcome you. I know we've talked about this recently, to Reflect and Renew workshop. It's happening on December 29th. And if you're hearing this before December 29th, it is not too late. Register, please. Even if you can't make it live, which definitely the power is in being there live. You'll still receive the workbook, which is magical. Join us on December 29th for this live workshop. It's happening at noon Eastern Standard Time. It'll go for about 2.5 hours, what I'm thinking. And what I'm feeling for this workshop and the intention for the workshop is to create a new vision for 2024, tapping into this feminine power of receivership. So looking at these 5 components of our lives, our health, our wealth, our relationships, our impact and contribution, and our happiness. And can we see that from a different perspective? Can we have goals and beautiful intentions, but focus on the skills of receivership? You've done it the other way. You've tried New Year's intentions, New Year's resolutions from a masculine perspective. What if we did it in a new way, from a feminine perspective of receivership, and make 2024 a year of even greater abundance than you ever expected? Really tapping into the manifestation of the things you really want. I'll leave a link in the show notes so that you can register there, or go to www.reflectandrenew.life. Beautiful, beautiful, easy to remember. Reflectandrenew.life, all full, the full word and, or find it on my website, www.thebizofhappiness.com. And if you are listening to this episode and you're thinking, gosh, this is exactly what I needed to hear, then receive it. This is for you. Fully receive this message as exactly what you needed to hear. Receive this message as permission to receive this holiday season. And remember, when you feel good, that's when you can do good. Happy holidays. Thank you for listening to the Business of Happiness podcast. If this episode brought you new perspective and value, I invite you to subscribe so that you catch all upcoming episodes and leave us a review. And if you know of a friend or colleague who could benefit from this perspective, share this episode with them and empower their day. For more information about the Business of Happiness and the Radical Happiness for Practitioners course, find me on www.thebizofhappiness.com. See you there.